Well, the schedule of the Danish Cup has ruined my plans for today's episode, but I have to come back at this point because we're facing Midtjylland. It is without doubt a two-horse race in the Danish Superliga, and if we win in this one, I'll start to believe that this season will be a comfortable one. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 29 of The Coach's Head with me, Daniel. There you go. When you're recording ahead, check the episode number before. I think we're at part 29 and today we are back to face Randers in the Danish Cup and then Midtjylland away from home in the Danish Superliga. There are 4 points between us at the minute and we are flying. But you remember what happened last time we played them. It was 1-1 till the 95th minute. Where we scored the most fortuitous of deflected strikes. We're going to show those two today and keep an eye on what's been happening elsewhere, as it has been a story again of not being brilliant, but picking up late winners, picking up wins with efficiency rather than real quality. So if you're looking forward to all of that, please do put a thumbs up on the video. But let's start by having a look at the schedule and see what's been going on, because as you can see, bar that Ajax defeat in August, it has been a sea of victories. And so far, it's actually been really good performances for the most part as well. You were with me as we did really well against Trabzonspor and then beat Nordsjælland as well. And this month, in fairness, we've had 4 easier fixtures on paper and they've proved that way. We played Horsens at the start of October where Schmidt scored a hat-trick, including another screamer. Gonzalo got one early as well and is the only man who we've lost out to injury, picked up a hernia and has missed the game since. And then Suarez got one as well, as by half-time, we were 3 up and fairly comfortable. To be fair, the only disappointment there is at 5-0, we then made changes and let a couple in. We then played lower league opposition in the Cup, B93, a side we got used to facing with Viborg back in the FM22 save. We did get the goalkeeper injury on debut for our new number 2, but Enghart, Gudmundsson and Kasperlund the youngster got a goal apiece to make it comfortable. We did, though, get complaints from Gudmundsson about not getting regular first-team football, which may be a problem later down the line. We then played today's opponents, Randers, our first opponents in a game in the Superliga. We won 4-0 at home thanks to another Schmidt hat-trick after Joe May scored a towering header at the start. And he also got the opener against HJK in the Europa League. This time he was playing on the right of midfield again, and Gudmundsson came off the bench in the 88th minute to score an absolutely crucial goal towards our qualification chances. Would have been disappointing without it, but now if we can beat Glentoran next week, we should be virtually through with a few games to spare, and the money is important for Copenhagen. So let's go and get straight through to the first of today's games, a cup match that is crucial. What I don't really understand is why the only game that's not on TV in the league in recent times is Midtjylland this weekend. The most important game in the season between the two biggest title rivals. I think that game might be on TV, folks. You might have misjudged it a little. Let's go and get through the fixtures, though. Everything else looking lovely. The dynamic's great, apart from Achuri, who we agreed to let leave next window, and Gudmundsson, who wants to play more football. He wants to play at the Euros, which I'm assuming Iceland have qualified for. But all is looking good. All is looking rosy. This game, though, we've got to be a little bit more careful. We're fortunate in the way it's worked that we've got 4 days off after this, and we've been able to rest people at times in recent games. But I still want to make a couple of adjustments just to make sure that we don't get caught out and left with a number of injuries or unfit players at the weekend. So this is the squad that we had last time out. You can see there's a couple of heavy match loads dotted around. So I'm going to go and make a few little adjustments. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. Well, I may have underestimated the injury problem slightly, because if we go and have a look outside the squad, we've lost our backup keeper, we've now lost Kasperlund, and also Federico Romeo, who's the first choice sub-midfielder. So it does take away an element of the rotation we can do from the start, but what we will try and do is do a lot of rotation during the game if we're comfortable. What I think I'm going to go for today, just to be careful here, is I'm going to put Winther in for Gallego, because I believe we can still win there. And then it means Gallego can come on for, say, a Tuhumchu and maybe give a midfielder a bit of a rest. I'm bearing in mind that Lubicic will probably need a break as well. And I've also rested one of the right backs. So Ashuri comes in on the wing. And then Joe May drops to the bench. We'll play Gendry today. Joe May can play at the weekend. Simple as that. So with all of that in mind and done, this is what we're going for today. It is Yevan Diouf between the sticks. We would have played the backup keeper, but he's not fit. Gendry and Lubicic the fullbacks, with Jensen alongside Winther a centre-half. Tiumchu, Højlund and Bruno the midfield three, the only three that are really fit. Enghart is on the bench if we need a substitute. And then Achori joins both Suarez and Schmidt up front. I was tempted to go for the sub-striker, but the unhappiness is a problem. Again, though, he may well feature off the bench. Let's submit the team. We just want to keep everyone fit for Midtjylland, but also we want to avoid embarrassment in the cup. Let's go and make sure we do. Well, I've just spotted the Randers manager is none other than Rasmus Falk. Now, many fans of Copenhagen will remember that name because Rasmus Falk played for the club with some aplomb for nearly a decade. He's only a caretaker, so I'd imagine this is a pretty big day for him. They'd started the season poorly, and he's now got the gig. So will he come up trumps against his former club? They've lost 4 of their last 5. They were poor before he came in charge. Is he going to cause us any trouble today? He shouldn't. As Lund Jensen plays out from the back from the kickoff, would be lovely to get a fast start as Gendry. Back to Winther. Possession's good, but will he make it count? Højlund on the turn again. Force backwards. Plays a 1-2 with Gendry. Inside to Bruno, who's growing into this shirt now. Must say the signings the director of football has made have been good, as one of them gives it away right on cue. We just need that left back to come in January and problems will be solved. As Gendry picks the ball up again for Diouf. Not sure why we've seen this first 45 seconds, but if it leads to a goal, I'll forgive them. Unless it's a goal at that end, because Lin's won it back. Rajovic down the right. We're in trouble here. Ball across the box to Santos. And we're behind in a minute. Rasmus Falk knows Copenhagen inside out. And he seems to be causing us some trouble. 1 minute on the clock. Complacency takes over. And maybe resting one of the centre-halves was not a good idea. Though Tiumchu has got a free kick at the other end. Could do with an instant response and we get it. Great free kick to Tiumchu. 14 rating. It's not often the free kicks go in this year. But that was a very importantly timed one. Just 2 minutes after conceding, we're straight back on level terms. As we're 12 minutes gone, Jensen picks the ball up and we're now right in the ascendancy. That quick equaliser has just built the confidence back up. As Suarez goes wide to Lubicic, into Schmidt, but the flag goes up. I got excited. I thought it was close, but the goal's not going to stand. No VAR in this competition. It remains 1-1 on the night. We're 15 on the clock, and if nothing else, this is an exciting game. There's highlights galore, but are we going to create more chances from it? You feel like it's coming, but this is one of the first times I've seen us look under regular threat. You can see down the left-hand side, they're starting to create space in wide areas. Achori gets back well to win it, though, and Højlund can break away. Gendry's trying to support him, but Højlund turns back, finds Achori, who stayed in that right-back position, and he gives the ball to Winther, who can now play up as we just slow the pace down a little. Actually, Randers are pressing us really high. Maybe that's what's causing us trouble. Definitely didn't do that the last time we played them. The Suarez gives it away, but Lubicic fairly fortunate with how that fell. Down the left he goes, supporting side from Suarez. Space to run into, 2 in the middle, gets it across, and that's unfortunate for the keeper. He got a little hand to it, but it goes straight out towards Schmidt. There's no defender near him. It just hits him. I don't think he knew much about it. And Schmidt gets it in for 2-1. He's been a proper poacher this season. He's a really good player. But I do fear a bit like we had with Thompson in the summer. He'll be the next one off the conveyor belt that inevitably leaves Danish football. Oh, here come Randers down the left again. We've got to worry about our defence for now. Kastrup back out to the winger. Into the box. Lubicic, that's a penalty. I mean, it's soft. It says clattered, but a dubious decision seems more accurate. Can Diouf be a hero? He's the only goalkeeper fit. We need him to do something here. Rajovic, saved by Diouf. It's all happening for us now. Those crucial moments are falling in our favour. Let's just see out the corner. I've got to say, there is no side by Ajax this year. Certainly no side in Danish football that have caused us the trouble Randers have in these 20 minutes. It's still 2-1 to us though. We're still winning a game. And in cup football, in knockout competitions, that is all that matters. As Gendry plays to Winther. Exciting game as who got us back on terms, finds the ball wide to Elias. Good touch from Achori, but he's not got the legs he once had. He's cleared away as far as Bruno, who finds Lubicic. Inside to Bruno again. Back to Good ball over the top towards Suarez. Options in the middle. Just beyond Schmidt, who tries to make a dive for it. But he can't quite get there. And now they're away again. But Gendry does really well this time. Højlund inside to And now Bruno. Wide to the left-hand side for Lubicic. Support in front of him, but he goes alone, gets the ball in. It's across the box to Højlund, who hits the bar. Away as far as Umut. The pressure is piling up, but you feel we need that third goal to put them to sleep. At the moment, they've still got that big threat on the counter. As we go long towards Suarez, who loses his header. Lin gives it away though. Suarez fighting hard, but he can't keep the ball. And now they're breaking down the right with Rajovic. They've been such a threat out wide. And this game has been exhausting as Santos heads in at the back stick. Oh, this is a side we are struggling with. I know the two fullbacks have got heavy match loads. I know it's because we don't have much depth there. But this has been really interesting to watch a side play high and aggressive in wide areas. Probably a bit like my Southend team in the other save. And maybe that's the recipe to success in this year's FM, I don't know. Both Brøndby and us struggling away at weaker opposition. And at half-time, you have to say Randers are pretty good value for their draw so far. We're going to tell the lads to keep going, as the Copenhagen legend is causing us all sorts of trouble from the touchline. Let's see what the second half brings. I mean, I thought I would go with luck and put the head coach t-shirt on. It's not happening today. 10 minutes gone in the second half. I'm going to start looking at changes, but it's probably not ones to rest people now. It's probably ones to try and win a game. As Rajovic on the right. Again, look. All 11 players camped in our own half. Zutphen breaks forward. Support in front of him. Instead goes back to Ibsen, the centre half. And he looks for Engard. Again, just goes back. They're keeping it well. They're keeping us under pressure. As Zutphen plays out again. Got plenty of room to run into. We're not really closing down well. And here it goes up to Santos. We're in trouble here. We might be going out the cup at this rate. Just wide of the post. It stays level. But that could have been 3-2. Let's get the subs on. It's going to be Gendry off for Joe May. Let's get Suarez off for... Who's the best right winger? I mean, it would have been Joe May again, wouldn't it? I'm going to bring Pin on and switch Achori over. Then I'm probably going to bring Gallego on for Jensen because I don't want to weaken that centre-half area too much, but I feel we need to adjust it, and he's been the poorer performer. So 3 changes on will hopefully, if nothing else, give the lads a bit of a kick up the backside. But again, it's Randers with a goal kick, and I could really do with them giving it away. Everyone's missed it. It's gone straight through to Santos on the left. This is an awful performance. Edge of the box, Højlund's in. No penalty this time, but they've still got possession. Ball in's off the crossbar. I think it meant to be a cross, but it was almost a great goal. I'm going to go attacking. I'm going to really push these lads. We need more. We're just over 15 to go. I've got to take Højlund off, but without Romeo fit, we've not really got a sub. We talked about moving Gallego into midfield, didn't we? Let's do it. Tambakti will come on for Højlund. Bruno goes up a roll. Tiumchu goes up a roll, as does Gallego. And Tambakti will play in central defence like that. We're also going to bring off Lubicic, who does struggle up there. And he's going to be replaced by Ganel, who will just have to do the job for now. 15 to go at 2 apiece. And it is all Randers. I am really getting concerned. Corner in, headed away by Umut, but not completely clear. Back to the edge of the box for Smith. And Regeer, shot just over. Do I maybe go more defensive here? I think I'm going to swing it the other way. Because we are coming under all sorts of pressure. The stats don't really tell the story of this game. In the second half, there's only one team with a threat. We've got a corner with Achori. That delivery was wicked. It falls for Pint on the edge. Barely played this season. That would have been some arrival into the first team. He's had his injury problems. He's not a great player. But that technique was almost stunning. 4 minutes of stoppage time to be played. It is still 2-2 after it. Oh, extra time is not what we needed ahead of the weekend. Don't let this slip away from you. I mean, the one player I want to take off is Umut. He's struggling. But who do I bring on? Enghart can do it. But do I maybe bring off Schmidt? Do I look at someone like Goodmanson? He's been a superstar sub at times. No, I'm not. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Winther off. I'm going to put Gallego back into defence. I'm going to put Tiumchu back to hold in midfield. And I'm going to put Enghart on in the midfield too. I think that's the right change. There's 30 minutes added. This is going to have a real knock-on effect potentially on Saturday. But I just want to get through now. We can't go out the cup. This would be a proper embarrassment. People saying we just win everything here with ease. Might be going out the cup, though. Schmidt is here to save the day. Elias Achori with the ball across the box. We caught the tired legs out. Schmidt still making those runs across the front post. It's 3-2. And I'm wiping a big bead of sweat there because that is relief I'm feeling. into the second half of extra time. Touchwood, Randers appeared to have run out of steam. But if that penalty had gone in, it would have been a very different story. Now we hopefully worry about what we can do against Midtjylland, because a lot of these will not be fit. Look at Umut, he's got nothing to give. It's going to be a bit of training rest going on now as Juff throws in to Ambakti. Playing into midfield. Umut back to the centre half again. Now Enghart. Through ball towards Elias Achuri. Schmidt's trying to make the run. He's still on a hat-trick, though. Bruno's got space. Might shoot himself. Just over the bar. Stays 3-2. Juve having a great game in goal. Is he going to need to make one more save? We're about to lose Pint to injury too. Hopefully it won't be costly, because the weekend now is a game I'm worried about. The title race could open up. Oh, and Pint has gone off injured. There you go. But the most important thing is we have avoided a very big banana skin in the cup. We get through by the skin of our teeth, and we now look ahead to the weekend. Hopefully, Midtjylland will feel generous, because we are not going to be fully fit. Well, after getting a fortunate draw in the quarter-final of the Danish Cup, where we're heading to lower league opposition, we're now back for fitness test time. Jakob Pint is nowhere near. I've rested a few from training for a day. I'm hoping it'll pay off, because Midtjylland, due to going out the cup early, have had a whole week to prepare for this fixture. We've played 120 minutes 3.5 days ago. Let's see how many are fit. I'm scared. What is it going to be like? Not great. There's a lot of heavy match loads now because of the extra 30 minutes. But most people are fit. It's just Jensen and Pint who are out. None of the players that were injured are back, so the bench is going to be incredibly weak. But let me just adjust one or two. We'll be back in a second to run through it. Well, I've got to hope that the 11 can do the job today, because it's fair to say there's not much behind them now. Suarez has hit poor form on the left-hand side, but will have to start. Joe May comes back in on the right. Gendry has to stay in because Pint is injured and Gonzalo are injured. We've also brought Gallego back in at centre-half for Winther, which I feel strengthens the team. But otherwise, it's as you were. With not many senior players left on the bench. We've got the two sub-centre-halves. We've got Goodmanson and we've got Achuri, who's not really that fit. And that is it. It's a youth goalkeeper, a youth left-back, a youth left-winger, and two youth central midfielders. We're not really at full strength here. It's not the day for that to be happening. So into the team, it's Gallego and it's May. The rest of it exactly the same as the one that played 120 minutes in midweek. Well, Midtjylland have a few familiar names from the real footballing world and from RFM Save the head coach earlier in the year. That man is Herven Hov in the attacking role, the one that we had at Bayern Munich who became a superstar. And in goal, Daniel Everson, very much experienced now in this save, but a very good keeper regardless. So let's go and get into it, because nothing really separated us last time we played. The only difference was a deflected strike at the end of stoppage time. Otherwise, it would have been a 1-1 draw. And the thing that may separate us today is the fact that we're incredibly fatigued. 5 on the clock, I would snap your hand off for 0-0 as the final score. Well, this has been a thriller, hasn't it? 42 minutes on the clock, no highlights, not many shots on target, and at half-time, I mean, to be fair, we're doing our job, aren't we? The onus is on Midtjylland at home to come out and win and close that gap. If we keep it 4 points after playing away to them, I think we'd be happy. Could it get even better? Imagine we nick a 1-0 from a set-piece. Umut puts it in, better delivery, Gallego there, Lund Jensen on the volley, blocked off the line, back in by Lubicic, May's headed over. Oh, how have you missed? It was an empty net to head into. Oh, that's the best chance you're going to get. 55 gone, it's 0-0. But it don't get better than that. And with us running out of steam, with substitutions required soon, and with only really youngsters on the bench, that is not a chance we could afford to miss, though. May heads that one away. Why are Midtjylland so poor second half? They should be full of energy. As Suarez picks it up on the left, probably going to come off in a minute. Finds the switch to Joe May, who gives it to Højlund. Been star of the season and been star going forward today. Finds Suarez at the back post, who loses his header. But Lubicic back into him. He's not coming off now. Oh, I've got lucky again. The same man who scored that big deflected strike in the 95th minute last time. I was a whisker away from substituting him. And in the right place at the right time, he turns up with a big goal. And it might well win me the game. It certainly might help me avoid defeat. Though they're back in the box here, Midtjylland, and they're level. Straight away. Pinball in the box, and finally they've gone 1-0 down, they're coming out. Midtjylland have decided to go all England on us. And with 25 to go, oh, we're going straight from the kickoff. The game's come to life. There's panic stations everywhere. And I can't even get a break to make a bleeding substitute at a minute. As Suarez drops in, plays the ball wide to Gendry on the right, who might have to come off as well with that booking in mind. May gets down the wide area though. Deflected cross. Almost in. Goalkeeper has to tip it over. It couldn't be another deflection again, could it? I am going to take Suarez off now, who's been poor despite the goal. Achori will replace him. Then May's going to go to right back. Gendry will come off. I have no idea who's going to replace him. I've got young Sven Nilsson. I've got Goodmanson. If either of the strikers could play off the right, maybe I just force it regardless. I don't really know what the solution is here. Schmidt's not had a good game anyway, so we'll do him for Goodmanson. Gendry, what do we do? Do I put Højlund out to right midfield? Have I got a centre mid who can come on? Not really. I'm going to go Nilsson. Let's just gamble it. We'll switch him over. Achori prefers to be, doesn't matter. Sven Nilsson, winger on support. We'll do him the other way round then. And then we'll do inverted winger on attack for Achori. Let's hope it's the winning formula with a quarter to go. It's a corner kick. The delivery's been better in this game. We've not quite found the answer yet, as Umut will deliver. Plenty of runs across the front post. There can't be much height left now. And Jensen back into danger. It deflects away. We've got another one though, this time with Achori. Into the front post. And Jensen! It finally worked. The near post corner. We've got them on mix now, so you're seeing more into the 6-yard box. But we're definitely a threat with him. There's a long ball forward by Midtjylland. Hervenhoff chasing. We can't let him in behind. He's so good at that. As Lund Jensen gets the chance at centre-half to Juve. And now Gallego. Boy, has this game come to life. It was a dour, awful affair for an hour or so. As Bruno brings the ball away. On the left-hand side. Charging down the line. Back to Nilsson, the sub. He can't win it. He looks well out of his depth here. Does make a good sliding tackle, though, for Lubicic. And now Lund Jensen. God, how weak are we going to have to play against Glentoran? As Gudmundsson's in. Oh, is it on? He's not done it again, has he? Goodmanson is turning in to our very own Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The super sub when you need it most. And he's turned up with another big goal. This is a very, very special day at the minute. We've got just over 10 to go. I'm going to take Umut off for Tambakti. We're going to put Gallego into midfield. They can both be ball-playing defenders, which is fine. I would take off Højlund, but I think maybe it's the wrong decision. No, I'm going to do it. Højlund off Reinhardt. Fresh legs over quality. Remember, in FM24, we've got 10 minutes to hold on to what would be a precious 2-1 win. And you have to say, if we win this, it would be very hard work for us to throw away the title. And that would be job done. And then we can look at moving on again and starting our career again elsewhere. As Lubicic gets over halfway to Nilsson. Maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself now. There's still 8 minutes to go, though Lubicic is flying down the left. Chance to get the cross in. Delivers a big one to the back post. Goodmanson was chasing it. It's headed away. Now we're vulnerable to the counter. The left back is up by the byline. They've got a chance to get in down the right as well. And here come Midtjylland. Our right-hand side is sparsely populated. And Bakti's out wide. Who the hell's in the box? It's all over the place. Christiansen gets there again as we scrape it clear. But the pressure's not over on the right with Biscoff. Through ball towards Hervenhoff. Francolino's there. Hits the post, but the flag is up. My words, this is by the skin of your teeth again. The expected goals is pretty much level. The best chances have been shared evenly. But we did it in the 95th minute last time. And we've just about clung on this time. A huge win. The perfect start in Denmark continues. And somehow we found a way after that 120 minutes in the cup. 2 pretty poor performances in this episode, but 2 wins. And that's all that matters. Let's have a look at the inbox. There's nothing there worth talking about other than Lubicic being a fantastic left back now. Let's have a look at the schedule because there are big games galore coming up. I feel like we've got to do one more before the winter break. But there aren't many big games now because we've got second tier opposition in the cup. We've got a couple of easier games on paper. Aalborg are bottom of the league. I think Rangers away in the Europa League is the biggest game left before Christmas. So I think we'll probably do that and maybe Aalborg or the first leg of the cup. We'll see which one comes up and which one looks best at that point. I think we'll probably focus on the cup after our disappointment last time. We'll rest a few for that one too. Then in the middle of that big winter break, we'll do the last Europa League game and deadline day. And then we can start to worry about the big games when we return to Danish League action in February. If you enjoyed this one though, I mean, the games are getting tighter, aren't they? The last three have not been convincing, but we found a way. If you enjoyed it, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. How fortunate were we in the cup? And how fortunate were we against Midtjylland? Does it really matter if we're fortuitous as long as we get the job done? If you want to stay up to date and find out if we do, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. I'm sure the bad run is just around the corner as the injuries continue to increase. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of it, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. But for now, we will be back tomorrow with Southend United. Another big episode from a huge season there. And then this one will return in 2 days' time. But next week is big action from the podcast as we look ahead to the new EFL season. Make sure you come and follow us over there to make sure you don't miss anything. There's also a link in the eye above to the Twitch channel for regular live streams, watch-alongs and FM action there too. Thank you very much for watching though. It's been great to have you here. And I'll see you again next time where hopefully it'll be a little bit less tense.